Gamarjoba, hello from beautiful Tbilisi. So, a number of things happening out of my home province of Alberta, where the G7 summit is taking place. The first big international event hosted by newly elected Prime Minister Mark Carney. Number one, of course, is Trump fled just after one day, ostensibly to go deal with urgent matters related to Iran and Israel. However, that means that he's only been there for one day. It also means that he's going to miss a badly sought-after meeting by President Zelensky to meet with the commander-in-chief and with the Mexican president as well. The other odd thing Mr. Trump said on his way out to reporters was maybe it's time to readmit Russia back into the G7, which would of course make it the G8. You'll recall that Russia was expelled after the illegal annexation by Russia of Crimea in 2014. Asked today on BBC News with the wonderful Sally Bundock whether Putin would come into the G7, I said, probably not. I'm not a betting man, but I bet you that he wouldn't, because he's more interested in, like-minded blocs like the BRICS and others. And aside from that, these summits have basically become what I call for tantrum diplomacy. Whoever screams the loudest gets their way. They're almost anachronistic. Of course, it's always good when world leaders talk, but the other kind of sidebar on this, and I thought about this at the ZEC Festival, talked to some other media people about this past while, is that those of us who have attended these summits feel more and more sidelined because the intense security, but what either dictators or autocrats or non-dictators do is they lock the media away so they have minimal interaction with the leaders, and the discussions that you go there for just aren't happening. Finally, I brought up, of course, as I always do on the show, the BBC show, about the intensive bombardment of Kyiv and Odesa overnight. It is really, really bad. I described the images coming out as apocalyptic. And, there's at least 14 deaths and at least 50 injured. Strikes directly onto civilian apartment buildings that are just horrific. And I explained this by saying Mr. Putin only sees gray lines. He doesn't see red lines being enforced by the United States. So that's what kind of empowers these dictators to go forward. And here in Georgia, I'm just a couple of hours away from where Russian tanks and missile systems are based. The Russians are advancing slowly their visible and invisible footprint here in Georgia, whether it's physically on the line of contact, but also through puppets, through proxies like the Georgia Dream Party, which are really clamping down. It's not a good scenario here right now, but young, energetic, tough people, and a huge diaspora as well, it should be noted. But it doesn't take much for perceived troublemakers to get picked up and thrown into prison on a lot of them are trumped up charges from what I heard last night. So that's it from me for today. Don't want to go on too long. Thank you for listening, and thank you for your support of World Briefing. And look at this beautiful hidden away courtyard and bookstore, Prospero Books, if you're ever here in Tbilisi. Really nice stuff.